From teacher to freedom fighter, Robert Mugabe's rise to power changed the face of Zimbabwe. Mugabe made his political debut in the 1960s, in what was then the British colony of Rhodesia. His goal, to overthrow the discriminatory colonial system.
The Europeans in the country must regard themselves as citizens of the country, and they count only for one. Each of them counts for one.
The stage was set for a violent uprising against Ian Smith's white colonial government, and Mugabe was thrown in jail for 10 years over a so-called subversive speech. On his release, he became the leader of the guerrilla movement fighting against the white minority rule. In 1980, Rhodesia became Zimbabwe, and Mugabe, dubbed the Liberator, was named Prime Minister of the independent country. 7 years later, he became president. Initially seen as a moderate, Mugabe soon crushed dissent among the minority and Ndebele people. It's estimated that between 10 and 20,000 were killed. Meanwhile, his economic policies plunged one of Africa's richest countries into crisis.
He allowed the worst of any economic policy to flower when he, spent far too much money perhaps on education and health and so on. Didn't develop the productive capacity of Zimbabwe.
In the 1990s, he launched a land reform program, redistributing the property of thousands of white farmers. He claimed to be righting colonial wrongs, but the policies sent harvests plummeting, causing major food shortages. Political opposition increased, and a 2000 referendum to expand the powers of the presidency was voted down. Mugabe's re-election in 2002 was dogged by accusations of vote rigging and intimidation. But he came closest to losing power in 2008. His challenger, Morgan Tsvangirai, won a larger share of the first round of voting, but withdrew from the second round, citing widespread violence against his supporters. Pressured by regional allies, Mugabe agreed to share power. Recently, an internal power struggle has erupted as the 93-year-old leader's health declines. With no successor named, Zimbabwe's future is up in the air. On November 6, Mugabe sacked a favored successor, Vice President Emmerson Mnangagwa, for showing traits of disloyalty. The move angered the army, formerly close allies of the president, and as military tanks descended on Harare, the stage was set for a fresh political showdown.